Hello and welcome to Nintendo Nightly, your Monday through Friday source for everything Nintendo. My name is Michael Cottrell, your host, and today on the show I want to talk about Part-Time UFO, a new title from HAL Laboratory, specifically HAL Egg, their mobile division that they started around August last year. This is the first title that we've seen out of them. While HAL Laboratory is very closely affiliated with Nintendo, they are actually an independent company, so though I don't know if there is any sort of partnership with Nintendo here, if there is, it's a very quiet one. So we had this drop. It's been out in Japan, and it came to the West today, to Android and to the App Store. And so let's talk about the game. So Part-Time UFO is a game where you play a little UFO character that looks eerily like the UFO power-up from the Kirby games. But once you get into the game, you are tasked with helping a farmer put oranges back in his truck. So you do that with moving the D-pad to control where your UFO is going, and then pressing a simple button to let a crane down and grab them, just like those crane games inside of the arcades. And so you've got to bring that over, and sometimes you have to stack things on top of each other or make them fit, and that can be where the challenge lies. The controls are, like you would imagine in something that might be physics-based, a little bit wacky to get used to at first, but I found that the more I played the game, the more I learned how to sort of like easily glide things into place, although at first it felt like an absolute nightmare. But it feels great once you finally get everything stacked together. It's very therapeutic to be building and forming these things in here, and the aesthetics of the game, it sort of looks like a Game Boy Advance game, and sounds, it's got those sort of chiptune sounds that really make it a Nintendo-like experience on the smartphone. And I really enjoyed that. They combine those aesthetics with some of the music elements based on where you are, so it might do something that is Greek themed or themed after like a restaurant or a high school, and they'll interweave the main theme into all of these different settings. So while you're sort of listening to the same song for the hour that you'll be playing this, it's also doesn't get old, strangely. Very strange. So the challenge structure of all these levels is very much a mobile sort of challenge structure, where you can complete the level, and that is half the battle. The other half is doing it in a certain time limit, and also doing it while fulfilling certain side tasks, like while you're building a Greek little tower and roof, putting a little statue guy in there, or stacking the cheerleaders to a certain height. Which all those things start to sound a little ridiculous, and that's kind of what I enjoy about the game, that there's these very wacky set pieces, and the costumes that you wear, the things that you're doing are all just very creative and out there, and I enjoy that sort of wackiness inside of a game. The game comes in at $3.99, which is really nice to see. There's absolutely no microtransactions or in-game purchases here, so in a gaming market where it's rare to even find a $60 game without that sort of bait and switch, it's really nice to just have something small like this and have it just be a self-contained experience, rather than something that's trying to monopolize your life and get you to spend all of your time and money on it. So I really enjoy this game. I look forward to getting back to it later tonight. I think this will get a lot of time in those moments where I'm walking the dog or waiting on the train, and it's nice to have those sort of mobile games, and I think that's the strength of mobile, to have these sort of short, bite-sized experiences, because, sometimes, even though the Switch is portable, getting it out, I mean, if you're playing a game like Fire Emblem Warriors, you're going to spend 15 minutes just getting ready to go into a battle and loading it, and sometimes other games that I want to boot up and just have a little bit of fun with require an internet connection for what I want to do with them. Like, I'm really into the Balloon World DLC for Super Mario Odyssey, but of course I can't play that waiting in a restaurant, unless I'm going to ask them for their Wi-Fi and hope that the Wi-Fi is good enough to power a Switch. And at that point, it's all become too much of a hassle. So it's nice to have experiences like this. I'm really happy to see a game that's as charming as Kirby, as charming as Box Boy on my smartphone. And so Yeah, if all of this sounds interesting to you, I would recommend that you check it out. I don't think you'll be too disappointed, and if you're not, then you're only out $4, and that's just a nice thing in our hobby that keeps getting exponentially more expensive. So that has been my thoughts on Part-Time UFO. I'd love to know what your thoughts are, if you've picked up the game yet, or if you plan to. We can talk in the comments section of whatever platform you're listening on, or you can write into us at thebentoblock.com/Nintendo Nightly. I want to thank you so much for joining me today, and have a great Monday. I'll see you tomorrow with more Nintendo news, impressions, reviews, so on and so forth, and make sure that you subscribe if you'd like to keep up to date with everything going on.